Good. Good to open up for questions.
I know they return a lot, unlike Hawaii. To what extent is this a different challenge? How is it different when you're playing against an experienced team where, especially in defense, like almost everyone is back for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a different challenge, and I think we're going to play a good team this weekend. And we know what that's like. You know, as a program, we've experienced this. They're going to have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be connected. There's a lot of experience coming back, and so you're going to get the full force of an effort from that side. And you know, we're going to need to not match them, but bring our best, like I thought we were able to do for the most part on Saturday. You know, our focus needs to be on, again, playing to our highest level of team. And I think we got in touch with some of what we're capable of when we do that on Saturday. And you know, their strength as a team is going to demand that from us this weekend too. And look, we love that we had a good result, and but that for us isn't the focus. The focus is on pushing this program to heights and again playing at our highest level as a team, and that requires consistency. And you know, winning is hard. Winning consistently is even harder, even more challenging. So we got to work it out for us, but I thought we had a good start this morning, and yeah, I'm excited for the opportunity to play now.
You really haven't had to flip the page from win like that since you've been here. How satisfied were you with that? And that also includes maybe the stuff you can't control, like the travel and the sleep and those things too.
Yeah, we're experiencing the same thing in reverse in terms of our prep. So, you know, going to Hawaii, we recognized the need to adjust, and we got adjusted, and I think we benefited greatly from that in performance. Now, on the way back, it's time to readjust, and that's equally challenging. Yeah, I was very happy for our team. I was very happy for our program. I was very happy for our university that we were able to represent the investment that we've made, and on Saturday go out and have fun playing, and again representing Vanderbilt the way that Vanderbilt should be represented. That's important to us. You know, and just like anytime you win, you want to take the time to celebrate appropriately. And now, you know, maturity and progress is on handling, you know, the success. And we spend a lot of time guarding against this, just in the way we, in our language internally, the way we message the team. But saying and doing are two different things. And I think, you know, we're well versed in the understanding that lack of result can produce adversity and produce challenges. The negative echo chamber can be hard to overcome, and so we spend a lot of time talking about insulating this program from that. Well, now we have to work it from the other angle, because success is adversity also. And again, we weren't defined by our performance Saturday. That was a glimpse at where we've come, but you know, this program isn't about winning the first game. It's about sustaining winning over time. And, you know, we have to constantly keep the bigger picture perspective that this is the beginning of a journey for us. And you know, Saturday's result becomes meaningless if we're not able to build upon it. And that doesn't even mean that we're chasing a result this weekend. It means we're chasing a level of performance that can be replicated and will allow this program to find its potential.
You know, what are some of the updates? I saw that Julian Hernandez and Jake Ketchuk and Patrick Smith were not on the depth chart this weekend, so where are they at?
They're not available to play this weekend, and you know, looking forward to them getting back when they are ready, so week to week.
Anybody else that's not available this week?
I don't believe, in terms of coming out of the game Saturday, that I would add any to that. Those guys are the primary ones.
Trudell Berry, is he injured or he wasn't?
Oh, sorry, same thing, week to week with Trudell, and we'll expect him back, but won't be available this weekend. Sorry, Chris.
Coach, is there a specific area you want to see your team improve on this Saturday?
Well, I think when you talk about from the standpoint of the previous Saturday, you know, we can start better, and you know, we've spent time as a program on what it means to dictate terms on the field. You know, that's having a confrontational attitude, and that's playing 11 as one, and then that's putting on display our mental and physical conditioning. And I thought at times in our performance this past weekend that we kind of clicked off in all three of those areas. But I saw early some lapses in the idea that you play as 11 as one. And the biggest thing is we're going to have structural design that's going to be able to put pressure on the opponent, but we can't allow for an escape from that pressure because we have guys out of position or we're missing baseline execution. When your margin for error is small, you've got to make that up in your commitment to the design and to be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. And that's just our reality right now. And so, be it their first offensive drive where I actually felt like, you know, early in on that drive, they were able to find some soft spaces, but we were playing to our identity, and then we allowed a structural breakdown, allowed for the explosive touchdown run. Again, a credit to Hawaii too on that drive. And then offensively, as we go to counterpunch, I thought we had a unfortunate return decision to start the drive that put us kind of behind, and then the story of the first drive was penalties. And we're not to the point as a program where we can expect to overcome those self-inflicted wounds. And that would be where I would be pushing the team this week, just in terms of, hey, can we play 11 as one? Can we be really committed to playing with total effort and playing to our identity, but really understanding the structural design of what we're trying to get done, so that when we are able to put pressure on the opponent, we're not allowing them to escape that pressure. And any time early in the season, I think you're trying to, again, you keep using the word consistency, and that's not to just throw coaching terms out, but our first exposure showed that there were certain aspects of our preparation that really were solid in foundation. Some of those will hopefully all of them will show up again in full force, but we're going to learn something about that foundation this week and again. And so similar to last week, our ability to adjust and adapt, our ability to fill the gaps that need to be filled on the sideline. I think in game 2 it's going to be part of the reality again, and our opponent hadn't played yet, and so we're going to find out a little bit about their identity as we go. And so we'll lean on our experience from this past week and having to do that against Hawaii to help in the game.
Your 3 defensive linemen, Davis, Lee, and Babst. Any updates on those guys?
No, all 3 progressing, and I would say at this point, week to week, I would expect, Lee and Babs to maybe a little sooner, but all three progressing, and we're anxious to get them back, but know that those things have come.
Clark, I'm curious, scheduling wise, when teams, play at Hawaii, they have a choice to, play a 13th game or take an extra bye week, and you took the extra bye week. I'm curious what went into that decision, as well as just choosing to play another game the week after Hawaii, when a lot of teams take that bye week, the week after they play Hawaii.
Aria, I would like to have a great answer for you. The truth is that I inherited the schedule, and so I'm doing the best I can just to navigate through it. I would say that we are playing a 13th game. That's our plan, is to be playing in a bowl game. So, these schedules are set so far in advance sometimes that there's not any real influence that I have. I know going off a year ago, we had a late bye, and that was a challenge. And so I think I'm looking forward to the ability to kind of have 2 points to regroup this season. I will say that. I think that'll be healthy for our program, especially because we have so many new players and young players. Inevitably, for freshmen, taking on the challenge of the volume of college football, I think having a chance to regroup early and kind of unpack what we've learned and maybe get out of town a little bit too. I think that'll be helpful to them sustaining through the end, and we'll need that, for our team to reach its potential.
And then, obviously, again, you didn't make the schedule, but playing 2 road games against group of 5 teams when most SEC teams, have almost all their home games on the road. How do you feel about those kind of games, and what do you think that the team can kind of take from playing teams like that on the road?
We don't, I honestly, and I hope this doesn't sound disrespectful, Aria, because it's not, we just don't care. I mean, I don't care. And again, I think some of this has to do with where I was before. We, at Notre Dame, we were independent, and you've got the schedule each year, and you looked at it and said, okay, here we go. There were a couple of things that were going to be consistent on there, but otherwise, it's put the ball down and play. And if they tell me they want me to play the game in the parking lot, we'll put the ball down there and play in the parking lot. That's just the mentality of our program. What we want to create here is a competitive mindset. It's an identity that we don't put energy towards things we don't control. And we want to make sure that our energy is directed towards the manner in which we represent our program, our university, the style with which we play, and at home or on the road, to us it doesn't matter.
So this is another game where if the opportunity presents itself, or where like a lot of freshmen could get in, or at what point do you draw the line and say we're getting close to the 4 games or whatever, and decide whether you want to pull those guys back or not?
With each game, we'll do whatever it takes to win the game. And so for us, whatever Saturday requires to put our best performance forward, whatever combination of people that is, the people that are available will be on the field. Bigger picture conversations around 4 games and redshirting people. We've already, as a staff, kind of plotted a course of what we perceive to be, presuming that we can stay healthy, that the direction will go. But those plans can fly out the window pretty quickly depending on what we have to adjust and adapt to. So we'll continue those conversations as we go. We've certainly earmarked some guys that are going to play. Those guys show up in our depth chart. Other guys will be plug and play as we need it, but the majority of that freshman class, we want to try to get 4 games in just to get some game experience under the belt. And again, to be on the field for us means that you're going to be able to impact winning. And if they're not ready, it's okay. It's nothing wrong with a traditional redshirt year where they're growing on scout teams and in our weight training program to prepare themselves to be ready next season.
Question. It looked like Quentin Skinner limped off a little bit at the end of last game. Is he all good for this week?
Yeah, soft tissue, and expect him to be a go this weekend. Also, I think just with that, feel the need to just give some acknowledgement to our strength training staff, our nutrition staff, and our training staff to go to manage that trip and play, at Hawaii, which is gorgeous, but I mean it was warm. It was a hot day under the sun, and to really not have any issues with cramping and I was really proud of the way that the program handled that. The players certainly, but credit goes to our staff too, doing a great job in supporting the team. So.
I don't think you mentioned Wataha also week to week, or is he available?
Week to week, he will be back. Won't be available this weekend, but I think we will be able to see him, probably next week. And again, for him, there's still some he's got to show he's going to impact winning, so whether or not, he will be available to play, and we'll be excited. Obviously we think highly of him, and at times he flashed in camp, and he's putting together some good work now, so we'll be anxious to get him back.
Anything else? Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.